So you're getting close to retirement. You're within that final stretch of the finish line. What you do over the next few years could make or break your retirement. And it can make the difference between enjoying your retirement or having to cut your lifestyle, or worse yet, having to worry about running out of money. It could make that difference between potentially having more, thousands of dollars of more income coming in, or potentially overpaying the IRS by thousands of dollars. So today we're going to talk about the 5 things to do if you're within 5 years of retirement. I'm Scott Sierens. I run a retirement planning firm where we partner with families and individuals, people just like you, to help them minimize taxes, to help them understand when they can retire, how much they can spend in retirement, so that way they can retire and invest with confidence. The first thing you want to do if you're within 5 years of retirement is understand your expenses. Now, this is important whether you've saved $500,000, $1 million, $3 million, or more. You see, and you might be thinking that, well, you've always lived within your means. And what that really means is that you've lived within your company paycheck. But in retirement, you'll no longer have that company paycheck coming in. You're gonna have to start cutting your own retirement paycheck from your retirement savings. So it's important to understand how much is going out or what your expenses will be. So how much are you going to need to live? What would your hobbies, activities, maybe how much for travel, things that you want to do for fun in your retirement? What are those outgoing expenses going to look like? And then also don't forget that we need to add in Medicare and other sort of health cost as well. So when it comes to understanding your expenses, here's the analogy that I like to utilize. Imagine that you're going to go on a driving trip, but I told you that there's not going to be a gas station between where you're at today and where you're going to end up. One of the important things that you're going to want to understand is how much fuel are you going to burn on that driving trip? Well, same thing for retirement. How much fuel or how much expenses are you going to burn each and every month or each and every year on your retirement trip? All right, so number 2, and this might seem obvious, but determine if you've saved enough money to retire within the next 5 years. Now, we've already determined what our lifestyle is going to be in number 1. So we know how much we're going to need each and every month or each and every year, and we've thought about any sort of extras that we want to add on to that. However, don't forget about a few other key pieces of ingredient that you need to understand when it comes to your total outflow. Got to add in inflation. You might have to pay taxes. And then we talked about this earlier, but don't forget you're going to have Medicare going out as well. However, you need to consider you will have Social Security coming in. You might have a pension coming in. And what that leads us to understand is, what is your income gap? What is your income gap? Meaning, how much are you going to need to pull from your investments? And not just figuring it out for 1 year, but you want to figure that out for each and every year of your life. And you see, by determining that, then you understand how much you're going to need to go and take out from your bucket of money. And understanding that for each and every year of your life, you can now go back and determine, understanding that gap for each and every year of your life, you can now go back and determine, have you saved enough in your retirement bucket of money, in your retirement savings, to fill that gap for each and every year of your life. Back to our analogy, right? We're making that driving trip from point A to point B. There's no gas stations. We understand how much fuel we're going to burn on that driving trip. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to say, here's how much fuel we're going to burn. Before we even start driving, before we even go on that trip, we're going to go see how much fuel we have. Do we have enough fuel to last that trip? Do we have enough retirement savings for how much retirement fuel we're going to burn or expenses that we need to fill that gap in our retirement? All right, before we get into the 4th and 5th to-do items, which are items that are going to help you maximize your retirement income and keep more of your retirement savings in your pocket, let's first talk about number 3. And number 3 is evaluate your investments. It's really important within 5 years of retirement that you want to evaluate your investments and potentially reposition your investments. Here's why. Here's what I mean. Well, we all know that the market goes up and down. And prior to your retirement, you might be more equity focused. And what happens then, right, if that dreaded crash happens right prior to your retirement? Well, instead of waiting for the dreaded crash to happen, that's why we're talking about this now, is we want to plan in advance. And we have to start thinking about our retirement savings differently. Here's what I mean. Instead of just looking at it as an equity-focused portfolio, we now have to look at our retirement savings that within the next 5 years, we might have to start turning on the faucet and taking money out. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to maybe start repositioning investments into less volatile positions that will help us weather the storm, meaning help us get past this point over here of watching the market on that side bounce back, right? Because we don't want to have to sell when our investments are down. So we reposition over to those less volatile investments. So that way we've got money to take out, right? Going back to step 2, filling that income gap. We've got money to take out while we watch the growth side or the equity focused side of our portfolio bounce back. And from a time frame standpoint, that's how long you think that a recovery would potentially take to happen. Could it bounce back in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? And so based on that, that's how much you want to start shifting over into your less volatile investments to help you fill that income gap once you get into retirement. So step 3 here, or not step 3, but the third thing that you want to do is evaluate those investments, start repositioning investments based on your income plan that we've created in step 2. So that way you can weather the storm if there is a market crash prior to your retirement. So as we dive into the 4th and 5th thing that you should do within 5 years of retirement, I think it's important that you understand this simple retirement formula. Look on the left-hand side of the screen here. Your retirement income and savings minus your taxes is what you keep. So whatever we can do to help maximize the top one, help minimize the taxes, helps you keep more of your hard-earned income and retirement savings in your pocket. So the 4th thing that you should do within 5 years of retirement is put together a Social Security plan. Understand your benefits, understand your spousal benefits, and then you're wanting to start to put together all of the key ingredients around Social Security planning. Ingredients like longevity, factoring in cost of living adjustments. How about survivor benefits? The other thing that you want to factor in, another key ingredient to Social Security planning, is what you've saved. Again, within 5 years of retirement, we want to start working on how can we maximize the top part of this formula. Social Security is a key part of helping to maximize your retirement income. Now, the other thing then that you want to do, number 5, 5th thing that you want to do within 5 years of retirement is put together your tax plan. What it also means is creating a retirement withdrawal strategy. You see, your money today might sit in 3 different types of tax buckets when it comes to retirement, and understanding which tax bucket do you pull from first and why, which second, which third, or do you do a combination of all 3? So putting together your tax plan for how you're going to finish saving for retirement, how you're going to make withdrawals from your retirements, and then additional strategies that you might want to incorporate, like Roth conversions, qualified charitable distributions, and so on. And I always say, make sure when it comes to those types of events or types of strategies, make sure you're sitting down and talking with your financial professional as well as a tax professional. Put together a plan that's right and specific for you. So hopefully you found those 5 things to do before retirement helpful. Now, the last one we talked about was taxes, right? Minimizing that bottom part of that key retirement formula to help you keep more in your pocket versus giving it to the IRS. If you haven't yet, download our free guide to unlocking hidden tax savings opportunities. What it is it's a guide of strategies. It provides actionable items and a checklist for you to utilize so that way you can create strategies specific to you and your situation. But most importantly, what it means is that you can use that guide to help keep more of your hard-earned income and hard-earned retirement savings in your pocket versus paying it to the IRS in taxes. Hey, if you found this video to be of value and benefit and you want to see additional videos in regards to planning for retirement, maximizing your retirement income, helping to reduce the taxes that you'll pay in retirement, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel as we're going to continue to come out with additional videos each and every week focused on your retirement. Like I mentioned, our goal is to help people minimize their taxes, understand when they can retire, how much they can spend in retirement, so that way they can retire and invest with confidence. I look forward to our next conversation to helping you enjoy life today and being financially confident about your retirement.